Hey, for Niners faithful! Welcome back to another special video where we dive deep into everything happening with our beloved San Francisco 49ers, and today, we've got a topic that's been setting the internet on fire: Christian McCaffrey and his growing status as the 49ers' top candidate for the NFL MVP award in the upcoming 2025 season. That's right, the buzz around McCaffrey is getting louder, and for good reason. Let's be real here, every single 49ers fan knows how crucial McCaffrey is to this offense. Sure, the team showed at times last season that they could move the ball without him, but let's not kid ourselves. When it came to delivering in the passing game and finishing drives in the red zone, there was a glaring void when McCaffrey wasn't on the field. You could feel it in the rhythm of the offense. Drives would stall, the energy felt different, and there was a clear lack of explosiveness. Now, fast forward to the present. All signs point to McCaffrey being fully healthy and ready to hit the ground running. The injury issues that plagued him throughout 2024 seem to be in the rearview mirror. This is exactly what the faithful wanted to hear. If McCaffrey can stay on the field for most of this upcoming season, we're talking about the potential for an absolutely massive year. The kind of year that could put him right in the thick of the MVP conversation. That's not just fan hope talking. The folks over at Pro Football Network went ahead and named him the most likely player on the 49ers roster to bring home the MVP award. That's a pretty bold statement, considering the talent on this team, but let's break down why that call actually makes a lot of sense. Their reasoning is simple but powerful. When McCaffrey is healthy, he's one of the most dynamic and unstoppable weapons in the entire NFL. But here's the catch, and it's the part that every 49ers fan knows too well: he just hasn't been able to stay on the field consistently. Let's rewind to 2024 for a second. McCaffrey only played in 4 games. That's a small sample size, but it's enough to remind us of the frustration that comes when a player of his caliber is sidelined. But if we go back another year to 2023, that's where the magic happened. That season, McCaffrey absolutely tore it up. He led the entire league in rushing yards with 1,459. That's already impressive. But when you add over 1,000 total yards from scrimmage and 21 total touchdowns, it becomes crystal clear why he's viewed as such a game changer. His dual threat ability to dominate as both a runner and a receiver makes him a nightmare for defensive coordinators. You cannot game plan for the 49ers without accounting for McCaffrey on every single play. And now, with Deebo Samuel Sr. no longer with the team, and Brandon Ayuk still in the process of recovering from a season-ending injury, the door is wide open for McCaffrey to take on an even bigger role in the offense. It's not just about making plays. It's about carrying the load and being the engine that keeps this offense rolling. Think about it. Early in the season, especially while Ayuk works his way back, McCaffrey could see a workload like never before. More touches, more targets, and more opportunities to break games wide open. That's the kind of situation that can lead to MVP caliber numbers if he stays healthy. And yes, we all know that's the big if hanging over this whole conversation. His health is the only real barrier standing between him and another monster season. What's interesting is that some fans expected Brock Purdy to be the name leading the MVP talk for the 49ers, especially after Purdy's breakout year as an MVP candidate in 2023. But here's the truth that's hard for some to swallow. As long as McCaffrey is on this roster, it's going to be nearly impossible for Purdy to win that award. McCaffrey just has too much influence on the offense when things go right for the 49ers. More often than not, McCaffrey's fingerprints are all over it. That's not a knock on Purdy. The guy has proven he can lead this team and make big-time throws when it matters most. But when it comes to individual awards like the MVP, the voters tend to lean towards the player with the most visible and versatile impact. And right now, that player is Christian McCaffrey. One thing the coaching staff, especially head coach Kyle Shanahan, has to focus on is managing McCaffrey's workload. That was one of the biggest lessons from the 2023 season. Back then, even when the 49ers had comfortable leads in the fourth quarter, McCaffrey was still out there, taking snaps and risking unnecessary hits. That overuse probably played a role in his physical decline leading into 2024. Moving forward, the 49ers need a smarter approach. It doesn't matter how good McCaffrey feels or how badly he wants to stay on the field. The coaching staff has to protect him from himself. They need to be willing to pull him out of games when the outcome is already decided. There's no need to run him into the ground before the postseason. If the 49ers want to make a deep playoff run, they'll need McCaffrey at full strength when January football rolls around. The strategy has to be clear: preserve McCaffrey during the regular season and unleash him when the games mean the most. It's all about balance. Give him enough touches to stay sharp and productive, but avoid putting unnecessary mileage on his body. We've seen what happens when McCaffrey is fresh and fully healthy heading into big games. He's a difference maker, the kind of player who can single-handedly tilt the field in favor of the 49ers. The reality is that San Francisco's Super Bowl window is wide open right now, but keeping McCaffrey upright is going to play a huge role in determining how far this team can go. Faithful, you know how it goes. When McCaffrey is rolling, this offense looks nearly unstoppable. And looking at how this roster is shaping up for the upcoming season, it is clear that McCaffrey will have even more responsibility on his shoulders. The departure of Deebo Samuel Sr. leaves a major hole in the offensive game plan. And while Brandon Ayuk is expected to return at some point, there is no guarantee he will be the same explosive threat right away after coming off such a serious injury. That means the early weeks of the 2025 season could become the Christian McCaffrey show in every sense. Expect to see Shanahan designing plays that get McCaffrey involved from every possible angle, whether it is running inside the tackles, breaking outside for big gains, catching screen passes, lining up wide, or even motioning into the slot. McCaffrey is going to be everywhere. Defenses will have no choice but to game plan around him, and that could open things up for other players on the roster like George Kittle, or even younger receivers who are still looking to prove themselves. But with great opportunity comes great risk, and that is where the balancing act for the coaching staff becomes so critical. No one wants a repeat of 2024, where McCaffrey spent most of the season sidelined. The frustration from last year still lingers for many fans. Watching one of the most electrifying players in the league spend week after week inactive was painful, especially knowing how much of a difference he makes when he is actually on the field. That is why load management is going to be one of the most talked about strategies heading into this season. Shanahan and his staff need to get creative, not just in how they use McCaffrey during games, but also in how they structure his practice reps throughout the week, limiting contact, giving him extra recovery days, and being smart with his snap counts are all going to be crucial if the 49ers hope to keep him healthy from September through December. And let's not forget about the psychological aspect. McCaffrey is a competitor through and through. Sitting out snaps, skipping practices, or being limited in games goes against everything in his DNA as a football player. But at this stage of his career, the long-term picture has to come first. The coaching staff and the medical team will need to work together to get McCaffrey to buy into the bigger goal, staying fresh for the moments that really matter. If the 49ers can pull that off, there is no doubt that McCaffrey could put up eye-popping numbers. Think about what he achieved in 2023 when he was featured heavily and healthy for most of the year. Over 2,000 total yards from scrimmage and 21 touchdowns. Those are MVP numbers by any standard. And with an even bigger share of the offense likely coming his way, those stats could get even crazier. Of course, the quarterback situation still matters. Brock Purdy has shown he is more than capable of running this offense efficiently and getting the ball into the hands of his playmakers. But as we mentioned earlier, when it comes to MVP voting, the reality is that McCaffrey will probably overshadow Purdy's chances. As long as both are playing at a high level, the offense flows through McCaffrey. His versatility makes the whole unit click in ways that very few players in the NFL can replicate. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL rumor mill is in overdrive, and the latest buzz has sent shockwaves through the league. MYLES GARRETT, the dominant pass rusher from the Cleveland Browns, is reportedly a prime target for the San Francisco 49ers. While purely speculative at this stage, the mere possibility of such a blockbuster move has set the football world ablaze. Sources close to the situation, who wish to remain anonymous, have hinted at exploratory talks, suggesting the 49ers might be preparing a significant offer to pry Garrett away from Cleveland. The idea of Garrett joining an already formidable 49ers defense, which boasts talent like Nick Bosa, is a truly terrifying prospect for opposing offenses. Imagine the sheer disruption to elite edge rushers, both capable of single-handedly ruining a quarterback's day. For the 49ers, this would be a clear statement of intent. signaling an all-in approach for a Super Bowl push. Adding Garrett would instantly elevate their defense from elite to potentially legendary, creating a pass-rushing tandem that could rival any in NFL history. It would undoubtedly address any lingering concerns about defensive depth and provide an insurmountable challenge for offensive lines, of course. The financial implications would be massive. Garrett is under a significant contract with the Browns, and acquiring him would require not only a hefty trade package, but also a substantial commitment. In terms of salary, would the 49ers be willing to mortgage a significant portion of their future draft capital and cap space for such a high-profile acquisition? The whispers suggest they might be. For Browns fans, this rumor is nothing short of a nightmare. Garrett is the cornerstone of their defense, a generational talent who has consistently delivered. The thought of him leaving would be a devastating blow to a franchise that has been building around his immense talent. This story, for now, remains firmly in the realm of speculation and what if. But the sheer magnitude of a MYLES GARRETT to 49ers move, if it were to materialize, would undoubtedly reshape the NFL landscape for years to come. Keep your ears to the ground. This is one rumor that could very well become reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.